We're making a 2-night stop at Monohans Sandhills State Park in, what state are we in?
Texas.
We're in Texas.
Still in Texas.
Heading to Tucson, Arizona. And this is Miles and Smiles. If you just saw these pictures, you might think we were somewhere in Saudi Arabia or something like that because of these huge sand dunes. But we are right in western Texas, and this is an amazing state park. We've had beautiful campsite, and well, the view is something like you just can't find many other places in the United States. And there's a special activity that people come here to do, and we're going to give it a try.
We are going to fly down the hill in a flying saucer.
Woo!
See how it works on the sand instead of the snow.
Are you going to be brave enough to do this?
Overcoming fear, and I think I'll do it.
All right, let's go.
Let's go. I don't know. Need a push? It looks like it's a little slow going. Maybe we ought to try a steeper. That's pretty slow. I guess I don't need to be afraid.
Okay, the hardest thing I'm finding is on this side of the hill where the sand's really loose. I'm getting a week's workout just trying to climb up. Whoa! It's getting soft. From the park office behind me, you can take a really fascinating 20-minute hike with interpretive signs to show you what's really happening in the ecosystem here in the desert. It's amazing how many things live here and how they all rely on each other in different ways. You wouldn't know it to look at it, but this is actually a tree. This is a Harvard shin oak tree, and by shin, that means they only grow up to about knee high. And Monohans Sandhills State Park is home to the largest oak forest in the United States. Just really short oaks. Look at this little guy. He lost his tail, I think. As you imagine, during the day here it can get very hot, and of course it's dry. But somebody dug this little hole and made themselves a place to escape from the heat. A lot of people associate the desert with just being dry and dusty and basically a lifeless place, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. There are such intricate and fascinating ecosystems here between plants, animals, birds, bugs, lizards. It's just so many different things that are making a living on the desert, and it has a special beauty all of its own. If you have a chance to come to Monohans Sandhills State Park in Texas, it's worth the stop. I'm glad we stayed 2 nights, so we had a full day to explore this fascinating park. For the last 200 miles or more, we have been seeing signs along the highway inviting us to see the thing, which is written in squiggly letters with exclamation points and weird pictures. So, you know, we're on vacation, and sometimes you gotta bite. What do you think we're gonna get to see in there?
Oh, it's surely a real tourist trap, but we've got plenty of time before we have to arrive in Tucson, so they also have a Dairy Queen.
A Dairy Queen?
So whatever the thing is, some kind of mummified something or other, mother and child.
Are you here more for the Dairy Queen or for the thing?
Other little trinkets. Well, we'll see.
Right, let's see together. Not surprisingly, I mean, this is a souvenir store, and they've got everything from nice Navajo jewelry to everything you can imagine. The thing is down that way. This whole exhibit is based on the idea that an alien race, the Rathian people, came millions of years ago and ruled during the dinosaurs. Are they coming back? Did they once rule the earth? What if? What if the aliens enslaved the dinosaurs, but the dinosaurs became intelligent and a terrible battle began? This is just crazy fun.
So, the aliens were the ones that thought that the American belief system was closest to theirs and saw a great opportunity to help the United States win the war against Britain and become independent. Wow, that is awesome of them.
So what did you think of the Thing exhibit?
Pretty cool, actually. Really mingled actual history with the alien invasion. So you'll see from some of the pictures, there's real life and there's crazy background story. It's pretty extensive, a lot more than I thought, and a fun trip.
Fun trip. I mean, I left and enjoyed that so much, and for $5 each, you can hardly beat it. If you come down this way on I-10, just east of Tucson, stop in. It's going to be worth your time. It turns out that our campground is just down the road from the Pima Air and Space Museum, so we decided we'd come over and take a look at it. And it is filled with aircraft memorabilia and artifacts, including a replication of the Wright brothers' first plane. And I love this one. It is called the Bumblebee. It was specifically designed to be the world's smallest aircraft in order to, well, I guess, beat that record. Behind me, you can see a Huey helicopter, which was one of the most used helicopters in the Vietnam War. If you were an American soldier in Vietnam, you really wanted to hear this sound because it meant help was on the way. Have you seen Top Gun? Well, this is the F-14 Tomcat. Now, where's Tom Cruise? But it's not all about military aircraft. This Lear jet behind me was the 15th ever built.
This Lear jet was actually owned by Henry and Louise Timken of Ohio. Both of them were licensed pilots. Louise was the first woman to qualify for a type rating in a Lear jet, which is quite cool.
Marion Rice Hart made 7 transatlantic flights in the Beechcraft aircraft behind me. Oh, and by the way, she made the first of those 7 transatlantic flights when she was 74 years old. Wow. Built for speed, the Lockheed Blackbirds were originally made for the CIA and spy missions, and these birds are fast. This plane behind me set a world speed record from going from Los Angeles to Washington, D.C. in 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 20 seconds. The B-380th Memorial Museum is here next to the Pima Air Museum, and one ticket gets you into both. They have a B-17 Flying Fortress. This never flew in the war, World War II, but it was a genuine production plane, and they have renovated it to look and be equipped like the ones that flew in the war, and as a memory to the airmen. Our guide pointed out that these airplanes had no heating system. When they were at 25,000 feet, maybe for an 8-hour flight, the airmen had to wear highly insulated air suits because it was minus 50 degrees outside and inside the airplane. And whenever I come to a place like this, what I find is I'm inspired by the ingenuity and the persistence of the people who've developed these various different kinds of aircraft for so many different uses. I would give it 2 thumbs up, 3 thumbs up if you are an aircraft or a military enthusiast. So here's the story of this place. When I was at Geneva College near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I took a course on desert ecology, and we camped out throughout the Southwest deserts to study the ecology in real time, real place. And we camped out about maybe 1/10 of a mile from this restaurant. I had been making coffee for the group, and to put it mildly, it had a reputation for being exceedingly bad coffee. In fact, our professor, Rudy Fatula, Dr. Rudolph Fatula, said that when he drank my coffee, he might as well take the grounds, put them in his mouth, chew them up a little bit, swish in some warm water, and swallow. So it was decided that if I was going to make coffee, I had to learn to drink coffee. And they brought me here where I had coffee with lots of cream and lots of sugar. And as you all know, if you've been following Miles and Smiles, I have become a real coffee aficionado. Gotta always have a cup of coffee. While we were here, we also had this amazing deep dish apple pie a la mode. And it was so good that I could still remember decades later that it was at the Triple T truck stop and Omar's Highway Chef Cafe where I had this. And so here we are today to relive the memory. And hey, thanks, Dr. Fatula. You were a tremendous professor.